Okay, so we're going to talk about pillars. Most people have no idea what this is. So your pillars are the things that you talk about the most. And once you fine tune your pillars, you're going to know what to post. So you're not just posting random stuff all the time. So these are 5 things that you enjoy. Joy is big for me. I'm all about doing and posting what brings you joy. So what brings you joy, or something you would like to post about, okay, that brings you joy. Your first 2 pillars, if you are here to build a Nu Skin business on social media, your first 2 pillars are your Nu Skin products and your Nu Skin mentorship. Those are your first 2. The other 3 pillars are entirely up to you, okay? So the easiest way for a person to figure out their pillars is to ask yourself what you value, okay? My pillars, for example, are my family, my mindset, working out, taking care of my body, Nu Skin products, and my mentorship. And people will follow you based on your pillars. You will attract who you're meant to. Don't try to create a pillar because you think that that might create more team members or more customers for you. Be true to yourself, and you will attract that into your social media platform, which then in turn comes full circle into selling and building a team. Okay. All right, here we go. This is my story selling strategy, and it has taken me months to fine tune this, and I'm so stoked to share it with you today. So you can screenshot this or you'll get the PDF at the end, but I'm just going to dive right into it. So prior to you selling a product on social media, okay, whether it's a sale that's going to come up or you're going to choose to get loud about a specific product or whatnot, right? What you want to do is you want to begin to use that product in your stories without saying anything. So you're advertising subliminally without saying, here's my LumiSpa. I love it. This is what it's done for me. So I'm going to show you an example, and it's specifically exactly what I did to monetize and maximize on this last LumiSpa sale. Okay. So the sale dropped on the 22nd of November. As you can see, around the 1st of November, we learned about the sale. November 7th, I went in my stories, I used my LumiSpa, and I literally just asked people what brought them joy. Didn't say anything about the Lumi. Next up, I was just talking to people about my day. Again, didn't say anything about it. The third one, I am just giving tribute to my thank you LumiSpa collagen toner serum and Pillow Glow. All right. Which I also knew Pillow Glow would be on sale too, right? Because we just found that out. And then the last one is me literally talking about where we're going to take my daughter that day. So I'm not talking about specifically the LumiSpa. I'm not saying anything about it being on sale. I'm just showing up and using it because people want to purchase products from you on social media, but they really don't want to be sold to. So they need to see you actually using the product, okay? If there's a sale on a product that you don't use, one, I would say go buy that product and start using it before the sale. If you've got a week's time, that's enough time for you to buy the product, have it shipped to you, and for you to start getting an experience with that product. But if not, switch it and do another product that you're excited about if you're serious about selling in your stories. Okay, so this is day 1 of the sale. Okay, so this was on November 22nd. So I posted the sale. This is all in my stories. I'm only covering stories content tonight, okay? Posted in my sale, put up some details. I put up a CTA, which on the bottom, it explains a CTA is a call to action, and it's using any feature that a person could interact to order from you. So a poll, a question box, a slider, or they could just click and order from a link, okay? So I put that in my 3rd story slide, and then I put in my 4th story slide a box where it says any and all LumiSpa IO sale questions. And I do this same strategy with every sale that I do, you guys. Every single sale, this is what I do. Okay, This is the second day of the sale. So after I posted these 4 slides, I didn't say a thing about the LumiSpa. I was not over blasting my stories with that. And at the near the end of this call, I will show you what to fill and how to use your pillars to fill the rest of the story time, because you do not want to just be posting about products. People will unfollow you. They will not view your stories if you're trying to sell them all the time. Okay. So on the second day, what I did is I posted the Q&A answers. And then I also reminded my audience of the feeling that the LumiSpa gives me. So I know that you may be a person who is like, Christina, if I put up a question box, there is no way that anybody is going to ask me a question. Guess what? Not one person asked me a question either. What you do is you go back to this question box, okay? So the next day when it's getting close to running out, you go back in and you actually ask the questions. And why is that important? Because you are teaching your audience to interact with you, number one. And number two, these are all commonly asked questions, but people are just too scared to interact, in worry that they'll, one, be sold to, so you'll just be bugging them forever, or two, that they just don't even know what to ask. So I went in and I put all of these commonly asked questions, thinking like, if I was on the other side of this and I was watching Christina Cooper Gom's stories, what would I want answers to? Okay. And I went and put all these in, and then it doesn't show that I put them in, and you go and you answer them. You guys, this adds credibility to you. And it also shows people, again, it's more exposures about the product and about the specifics about the product. Again, all of this is stories. So the last slide that I put there was of the feeling. So I did another video of just my face after I had Lumi. And on the bottom, the caption says, I share with no filter, and I'm here sharing with you because of what this has done for me. It has been a magical experience to be able to feel confident again. That, I can tell you, is probably 90% of the reason why a person purchased a LumiSpa from me or upgraded their LumiSpa on Black Friday. It was because of the feeling. Now, the other thing I want you to notice is that I did not do a call to action on the second day. There is no place to buy. There's no question box of what they want or whatnot, because you got to chill out a little bit. Okay. You can't just be like, want to buy. Like it's too much for people. So if you position yourself to have posture, to breathe, which I'm going to do right now, and to slow down so that people, again, they feel like you're providing value, not that you're trying to sell to them. All right, so day 3 in my stories. The first thing that I want to say before I break down all these story slides for you is that my sales only last at most 5 days. At most 5 days. Almost all of my sales are a 3 to 4 day maximum. There's reasons for that. Number one is that you have a countdown feature in your stories or on your page or wherever it is that you're selling, so that if it only lasts a couple days, people just need to go and buy. And that's honestly why I do it, because if I just have a sale that runs forever, the energy dies out and they don't actually even buy the product because there's no urgency to get it on that sale or whatever it is that you guys are doing. Okay. So the reason why I am loud in my stories is because I'm doing this and it's only for a short amount of time. This is not me every single day. This is only when I choose to do sales like this, which is usually about once a month at most. Okay. Maybe even once every other month. So testimonials are super important. So what I go do is I took screenshots from people that have told me what they loved about the product because I followed up with them. I share that in my stories. I then put before and after photos after that, my own before and after photo. Again, this goes back to you using the product. If your mentor is posting about a product and you don't really love that product, then go duplicate what they're doing with something you love, because there's so many, right? And then you show social proof of other before and afters so that your audience knows it's not just you seeing results. And then I did a slide as to why. And I literally asked myself, why would a person want to purchase the LumaSpa IO? What makes it different in like layman's terms, right? And I just went ahead and I typed those out. Okay, then I did my 2 call to action slides. The reason why I did 2 is because we've got the Lumi in rose gold and we also have it in blue. And I didn't want to have a link that had like 20 products on it, because I feel like that's very overwhelming to someone who clicks it. And if they're overwhelmed, they're not going to buy. It needs to be simple, it needs to be clean, and it needs to be clear. Okay. So what I did is I had Stella group offer links. I created 1 link for all things rose gold. And then I created a second Stella group link for all things blue. Okay. And you want to make sure this is a group link. If it's a personal link, once one person checks out, the link is dead. And if they click on it, it says that it can't be found or something like that. So make sure it's a group link. All right. The next thing I did after posting my call to action links in those slides is I let people know in my stories that I was adding all of this into a highlight bubble. You can have a highlight bubble on Instagram, and you can also have one on Facebook. So I added all of my slides from both previous days, starting with day 1, added all the slides from day 2, and then went into day 3 where these call to actions were, and they were all in the highlights, so that if anybody messaged me about the sale and started asking questions that I already answered, I could just direct them to the highlight, because they can get all their questions answered in the highlight, and the links are already there. So they can just go right ahead and shop in their own time. Guys, it's important to know people love clickbait. Clickbait is the opportunity to click a link and to buy something without interacting with people. Okay. You get to interact with them once you follow up with them and you earn more of their trust and that sort of thing. But there's a lot of people that are late night shopping in bed and they just want to click and buy. So after that, you're going to post a countdown. Countdown feature is on Instagram. So I like to have my Instagram linked with my Facebook stories, so they automatically go over. You can just YouTube how to do that. And I have a lot of people on my team who say, Christina, do I need to have an Instagram? No. Almost all of us build our whole business on Facebook through Facebook shoutouts. We use Instagram for stories, and the stories are just like prettier in Instagram, and then you can have them just auto connect over to Facebook. So why did I put a countdown box, specifically ending the sale at midnight on the day that the sale was over? Because it creates urgency. People know themselves and they know that they're going to forget and that they don't want to miss it. So they will click back story slides to go back to those links, to click them, and you may again get another sale due to the countdown. And it's something you're going to continue to flow with as well as you sell this product. Okay, here's some tips for testimonials. So first of all, if you are brand new and you're watching this and you're like, I don't have any customer testimonials, you are the first testimonial. You create the energy and you create the feedback for that product. That's why it's so important that whatever it is that you're talking about, that you have an experience with. So here is a picture. It's a screenshot that I went and found today. I went live about a month and a half into my business, almost 7 years ago, about the toothpaste. And I said, let's talk about this whitening toothpaste gone viral, guys. I had only been using the toothpaste for like a couple of weeks, but I went live and talked about it. And I can imagine that I probably made a couple sales, or people started watching me more, wondering if it was actually a legit product. All right. So another tip is to, as you follow up with people, screenshot their positive responses and reviews of the products. Create a folder in Boards for each product that you're following up about, and then literally take those screenshot photos and put them into these folders, because Nu Skin drops promos all the time. And you may not really be super loud about the mascara, but you've got mascara customers. So as you're following up with people, get all of these testimonials together so that you have a testimonial to go into this strategy on your day 3. Okay. All right. So day 4, you're creating excitement. You're sharing answers to questions that people ask, or you're going to have people ask you. We'll talk about that. And then you're also creating that energy momentum subliminally again through your get to list for the day. So if you do not have people that are texting you or sending you messages on Messenger about your sale, what I want you to do is exactly what I did. Message your mentor and say, hey, I want you to text me and ask me this question. And it's going to be a tee up for you to answer the question, for you to screenshot the question, and then for you to put it in your stories. Okay. Because people don't know it's your mentor. People don't know, again, with the question box, that it was you that asked the questions. So again, you are training your network to talk to you, to engage with your polls and your question boxes, because they think that it was just somebody else asking you. Okay. So share these things in your stories. And then the last thing is the get to list. I don't believe in a to-do list because that feels heavy, and I only choose joy. So I choose to have a get to list because I get to live each day and I get to do my business and show up. When I worked a full-time job the first 5 years of my business, I got to go to work every day, and then I got to come home and I got to work Nu Skin, right? It was a privilege to be able to be alive and do the things. And that's wholeheartedly how I feel. So what I do is I do a little video each day or take a picture, and I literally write down my day and like the highlights for my day. And I build in things about the sale to create excitement. So right here, you can see, I said I was going to pack and ship orders. We were going to go to Costco because we had no food, relatability right there, a play date with my kids. And then I was going to send more all things LumaSpa IO links, right? So this just shows people that that's what I'm doing. Does that mean that I had people in my direct messages that were like, hey, I need a link? No. But you guys, what you think about, you bring about. What you say is what you get. What are you putting out there? Are you saying people are going to be coming to you for links and you're going to be sending links that day? Yeah, that's what you're going to do, because that's what's going to be attracted into your business, because that's what you're putting out there. Okay, so sale day 5. This is the last day of the sale. This is also this is the longest sale I've ever run. Technically, it's the 5 days. I usually, again, do 3 or 4 at most for urgency. You'll get more sales, I promise you. Give people less time to buy and you will get more sales. So I do a reminder for the sale ending and a countdown, and then I'm chill and I do more behind the scenes stuff, like following up with people who showed interest, or people I had specifically sent links to because they wanted other things and they hadn't purchased yet, because you can tell in Stella, or just reaching out in general to everyone and letting them know that there's a sale going on and I want to make sure they don't miss it. Do not assume that people see your posts or see your stories. Do not assume that. Most of them don't, because the algorithms are insane right now. Okay. So you do a last call. It's today. I did a little post with me holding my LumaSpa. Again, this is not me copying somebody else's content. This is me holding it. It's a product I love. Then I put the call to action slides there again in the rose gold and in the blue. And then again, I did the countdown. Once you create a countdown, it's in there. So all you need to do is just go and press countdown in your stories again, and you put it right there. And what I love about what I did with this is on the bottom of the countdown, I said, once this ends, the sale is over. Because they look at the countdown and then they read that little text on the bottom and they're like, ooh, okay, gotta go click back and purchase and click her link because I'm going to forget. I was not planning on going back in my stories that night. Again, I was just gonna leave it, although I was feeling joyful and I was feeling excited. So I went into my stories and I said, hey guys, just a reminder, this is ending in a couple of hours. I'm going to go to bed. The links are active till midnight. Here's my before and afters. And then I did a video. And after I used my LumiSpa, I just swiped my thumb over the top of the treatment head and I put the cleanser after I lumied on my LumiSpa. You can't really see it, but next to my nail is the cleanser before I lumied. So I just went and put a little bit of that so they could literally see the difference of how much it was pulling up. It's pretty much Tanner, Tanner and all the dirt and wonderful things in the air. So they could literally see, holy moly, that's what's coming out of her face, right? And then I would delete the highlight bubble the next morning. So remember how I talked about that highlight bubble that you can put your archived stories in? I would go delete it because the sale would be over. So anyone that came to my Facebook or Instagram page and clicked on that highlight bubble, they might be like, oh, I want to, LumiSpa or whatever. And then the link doesn't work, right? And then they knew it was on sale and now they want to wait till it goes on sale again. So as soon as the sale is over, go delete the highlight bubble, okay? The highlight bubble is only there while you are running your specific sale. Okay, here is a very simple way to upsell. So what you're going to do is you're going to add more products to the group link that would make sense to have in the link that everybody's going to click on. Or even if you're just sending out a personal link to someone, I always add in extras. And I just tell them, hey, add whatever you would like into your cart and then check out. So it's not automatically all in their cart. They need to press add to cart for everything. So for the LumiSpa, this is a look-see into the rose gold link I created. It had the IO, it had all 3 treatment heads, it had the eye attachment, and it also had the stand there as well. And you better bet there were so many people who bought more than just the LumiSpa, although they may have just been interested in just LumiSpa. So it is so simple to upsell that way. Okay, all of that being said, consistency is key. For those of you that know me, you know that it took over a year for anyone to purchase a product from me through a story. Okay, 1 year before I had a person reach out and say, I want to buy that. Okay, so 2% of sales are made on the first exposure. 3% of sales are made on the second exposure. 5% of sales are made on the third exposure. 10% are made on the fourth, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th exposure. That is why you using the products that you love regularly when you feel good and you have that feel good energy and you don't wait till later, you just take out your phone and you just put a story slide up real quick, is so important because it's an exposure to someone. And so when you understand that 80% of your sales are going to come in after someone has seen you 5 to 12 times about that product, then it will all make sense as to why this is a marathon and not a sprint as you use your product.